Welcome into NBA Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we're going to break down 5 massive blockbuster trades that could go down and shake up the association. These come from Bleacher Report. We are going to react to them in today's video. But first, show some love to the channel and hit that thumbs up icon because our bosses here at Chat Sports, they've been hating on our NBA content, saying it's NFL season. We got to stop doing NBA videos. You guys can't even get to 200 likes on an NBA video. I call BS on that. It's NBA season. I want to do NBA content. And if you want more NBA videos, maybe daily NBA videos, hit that thumbs up icon right now and show some love. The first trade idea that Bleacher Report talked about in their article featured the Charlotte Hornets and the Minnesota Timberwolves, with the biggest player involved in the deal being Karl-Anthony Towns, a.k.a. Sir Purr. When you look at this deal, it's Karl-Anthony Towns going to Charlotte and the Timberwolves getting back Terry Rozier, PJ Washington, a top 3 protected first-round pick, and an unprotected first-round pick in 2028. And you may be asking yourself, why would the Minnesota Timberwolves be wanting to move on from Karl-Anthony Towns? It's because they traded every single asset that they had for Rudy Gobert, and I think they're realizing that it may not be the best on-court fit between Rudy and Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns is set to make $50-60 million over the next couple of seasons, and they may try to get some draft capital back. Towns was injured for the most part of this year, so maybe that gives them a little hope that it can work out. But even in the playoffs and in the play-in, the Timberwolves were at their best when they had one big man on the floor. And they could get a guy in PJ Washington who would actually fit better next to Rudy Gobert, be more of your modern-day power forward in the NBA. You could have Gobert at the 5, PJ Washington at the 4, who's a good player, and he's a restricted free agent right now, and I think that would be a seamless transition. But also for Charlotte, you are getting someone to pair next to LaMelo Ball that could be a building block for your organization. LaMelo and Cat would be one of the best offensive dynamic duos in the NBA. That pick and pop, that pick and roll would be as good as anybody's in the association. I mean, they're two so talented and skilled offensive players, and sooner rather than later, the Charlotte Hornets need to get a running mate with LaMelo Ball. And even though Cat is a little bit overpaid, he's still a really good player in this league. And him and LaMelo, they could grow together as members of the Charlotte Hornets and hopefully get that organization back to being a respectable franchise. I want to ask this question, though, before we get to the other trade ideas in today's video. Karl-Anthony Towns is a top blank player in the NBA. Is he top 5, top 10, top 20, top 30? Is he top 50? Let me know what you think down in the comment section. We're talking about a Heat trade, and it not involving Damian Lillard. It's pretty refreshing if you ask me. Bleacher Report threw out this trade idea where Miami would get Zach LaVine and the young buck Dalen Terry from the Chicago Bulls, and the Bulls would be getting off of that huge contract from Zach LaVine, but also getting some young players and more just natural shooting in Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and the now second-year player, former rookie, Nikola Jovic. I don't love this trade for Chicago because I think they're giving up the best player in this deal, and they're still taking on somewhat of a lot of salary in Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson. I believe Zach LaVine is the most underrated offensive player in the league. There's not many guys that can shoot 50% from the field, and his floor from 3 is 37.5. He has one of the best pull-up bags in the NBA, and when he puts his mind to it, he can get to the rack and finish with the elite in this league. And Tyler Hero is a solid player, no doubt about it, but why would there be any sort of motivation for Chicago to do this deal? Like, Tyler Hero is only a couple of years younger than Zach LaVine, and he's a worse defender, and he's almost as expensive, and you're not getting any picks in this deal. I don't think the Bulls are getting even remotely enough when you talk about this potential trade. If you are Chicago and you have decided we are going to move on from Zach LaVine, you need to get at least one first-round pick back, because what's the point? You're getting Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, who's overpaid, solid player, but how do we know Duncan Robinson out of a Miami Heat culture is going to be able to be an elite player? And who do we really know Nikola Jovic to be? If I were Chicago, I would decline this trade and hold on to Zach LaVine and maybe see if I can get a couple more picks or picks at all from somebody down the line. Bleacher Report trade idea number 3. This one is really interesting. They had Pascal Siakam going from Toronto to New Orleans, and the Raptors getting the big man Jonas Valanciunas, Larry Nance, Dyson Daniels, Kira Lewis Jr., and 2 first-round picks. I don't understand this trade for a couple of different reasons. The Pelicans, they don't need another power forward. And no matter how good Siakam is, which he is really freaking good, 24.2 points per game, 7.8 rebounds, almost 6 assists, and great efficiency from the floor. And look, it would be a great big 4 if you are the New Orleans Pelicans. But are you going to have Zion Williamson at the 4 and Pascal Siakam at the 3 and Ingram at the 2 and CJ at the 1, or do you just say F it and play small ball and put Zion at the 5? But no matter how you think the on-court fit is, it all comes down to Zion. Is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be available? Maybe this is insurance for Zion Williamson, and maybe they end up trading him down the line. I do like the duo of Siakam and Ingram at the 3 and 4 in my lineup. Also, the the Toronto Raptors just gave 4 years, $80 million to Jakob Poeltl. Why do they want to bring Valanciunas to back up Poeltl? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, Bleacher Report. Trade idea number 4 in today's show. What about Damian Lillard going to the ATL? What a trade this would be. The Blazers would receive Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, a 2024 first-round pick from Sacramento, a 2029 first-round pick, and as well as a 2028 and a 2030 pick swap. Look, there's been rumors that the Atlanta Hawks have at least thought and talked about the idea of moving on from Trae Young, and it would be an absolutely crazy deal. I don't think this makes the most sense for the Hawks because I think that Trae Young is, I'll say this, I think Damian Lillard is better than Trae Young, no doubt about it. But what's the age difference in this? I mean, Dame's 33. Has Trae Young even hit his prime? Trae Young's already led a team to the Eastern Conference Finals. Dame has done that once in the West in his entire career. I'm sure the Blazers would love to do this deal. You get a young point guard, picks, 2 first-rounders, 2 pick swaps. But from Atlanta, are you really getting better if you make this trade? I don't think so, and I think you're giving up too much draft capital to make it happen. I'll ask you, though, who is the better point guard right now? Is it Ice Trae Young? Is it Damian Lillard? Type 11 for Trae Young or 0 for Dame. Trade idea number 5 in today's show, and this one is the craziest of them all. The Bucks and the Sixers make a trade that involves Drew Holiday going to Philadelphia, back to Philadelphia. If you know ball, you know. And James Harden going to Milwaukee. Do they have enough strip clubs for James Harden? I don't know. This trade makes absolutely no point. I mean, is Bleacher Report saying James Harden has more value than Drew Holiday? I don't think there is one organization in the league that would rather have James Harden than Drew Holiday. I for sure know the Bucks would not. A guy like Giannis would be fuming at the mouth. And it would be incredible to see how James Harden and Giannis would, play together. I think on 2K it would work really well. But Giannis, someone that's first in, last out, all about hard work, is he going to be okay with James Harden being the complete opposite of that? And Harden's not even an elite player anymore, in my opinion. Still a good player, still a star, no longer a superstar in this league. While Drew Holiday gets it done on both ends of the floor at one of the highest clips for a point guard. He's one of the best perimeter defenders at the point guard spot. He can get his own shot off. He's got a nice offensive bag, averages 7 assists. Not quite the playmaker that James Harden is, but I think he's a better point guard. I think he's a better defender. And I think he's more of a winning piece at this point. I mean, at the end of the day, Holiday is just better. That's what it comes down to. Why would the Bucks have to add a pick onto Drew Holiday to get James Harden, who is older, more expensive, more broken down, and simply not as good of a player? Bleacher Report, man, oh man, what a terrible trade idea. Who's going to be the next NBA player that gets traded, though? We talked about a bunch of guys in today's video. Will it be Dame? Will it be Siakam? Will it be OG Anunoby? Could RJ Barrett get traded from the Knicks? I don't know. Let me know who you think will be traded next in the National Basketball Association.